Welcome back to the Schemin Dream Pod, aka New Hutton, New Day. You know.
Amen, brother.
Congrats on joining the Hutton family.
As long as they just keep popping them out, we'll just keep giving them microphones.
until you can't.
Basically, it's literally like the Idiocracy family tree. You know, when that one guy just keeps like boom, 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 boom. That's all just a bunch of redheaded little guys running around,
just drinking and drinking and causing issues at 4 a.m.
Yep, just a bunch of Irish pedophiles.
He did tell me, the bigger one, told me that he has a date with his Uber driver this week that he met. And he said she has daddy problems, so this is easy for him.
Yep, easy money.
Exact
Boom.
words.
From downtown, baby. Nothing but net.
Yeah, he hopped in that Uber and just...
God, that's really...
He was on autopilot.
That is his demographic, man.
Uber drivers that live in the shittiest... Speaking of shitholes... Since none of us live here, I just want to talk about the people that live around here.
Yeah.
Where we work. Do this work. You know, the funniest part about all the people is, you know, if you asked to draw somebody from Tonawanda from scratch, you could do it, and they would be the trashiest person.
Yeah, dude. Like,
the trashiest sketch. And then their cars. Like, when they're getting out, it matches exactly like them.
Have you seen that? I mean, it's been there for years now, but there's that PT Cruiser that's always in this parking lot that someone just clearly hand-painted.
Yep.
What is that?
It took them an afternoon with a couple of PBRs.
Yeah.
they became Leonardo.
This whole area is just keeping the tap-out company in business.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't seen a tap-out shirt since middle school.
Tap-out jean shorts.
Oh, Jesus.
Male jean shorts go crazy over here. This is platinum numbers.
Oh, my God. The denim industry is like, they're building a factory here. This is their headquarters.
Will Chamberlain numbers up out here. But yeah, it is. And the funniest part is that their cars just match them. Like, as soon as they're... Like, if you see just a piece of shit car.
The ones that have cars. Most of them are on Huffies. Huffies is like the -- way to get around in this area.
Just float. Float at the end of their cigarette.
Oh.
I saw Longlegs last night. The new horror movie with Nick Cage. It's great.
Yeah, I heard you talking about it the other week.
Definitely recommend it. Even if you're not that big into horror, it's a little gory sometimes. Because you're just seeing like dead bodies and shit, but it's a wild ride, very wild. It's like 1980s like serial killers, like going around. Nick Cage is the serial killer.
It's interesting that all slasher movies now have to be period pieces.
Yeah,
because
cell phones
exactly.
would ruin so many movies.
It solved the problem so easily.
I saw Seth Rogen talk about Pineapple Express. He goes, that movie would have been 20 minutes if me and James Franco didn't break our phones, and that was what.
Yeah.
He's like, we had to figure out a reason why we couldn't just call somebody and end this.
Has there been anything like that before in movies where? Because now if you're writing a movie, it's like it's
a problem.
You have to figure out a way to write cell phones out. Was there a problem like that before?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Like, we need to... Like, I'm trying to think if there was anything during, like, the Depression that would have happened. Like,
Cars, maybe.
Tie it to
Cars?
Yeah, like Journey type movie.
Oh, yeah. Like Of Mice and Men. That movie could have been...
Damn.
They had a car.
Just go to a new town.
They could
drive
just
20 minutes and save a life.
Yeah. We took the puppies with us.
So that was also back when... You know, you could move to a new town and change your name and and just live your entire life.
I could do it if I wanted to. I could go to Syracuse and just keep saying I'm Andrew Canada.
Yeah, 100%.
Get away with
Roll
it.
up a line of credit.
Hey, Andrew Canada, dude's a huge piece of shit.
My great grandfather, 2 families.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
he had
sick.
a secret family, dude. My dad said he only ever met him once.
The other family?
No, his grandpa.
Oh, so yeah, more favorite. Like, yeah, family he preferred.
I think I think. See, this is the thing, man. He had 2 families and he left both of them.
Oh, okay.
Like, he would go back and forth, and then eventually he was like, "I'm just tapping out of both of them."
So when they found out, it probably stopped being fun, is what it was.
Yeah, I don't think they were excited to. I think today you have a different perspective.
Yeah.
Like today, honestly, if it's like, "Oh, my dad has a second family," it's like, "Wow, impressive. good for him.
Yeah,
I can't believe he
did he
actually
pull
did
that off?
Yeah. And like, oh, I have, another brother or something. But also the families back then were so much bigger. Like, I think my grandma had like 5 or 6 kids on her family at least. And then the other one, I think, had 6 or 7. But my dad only met his grandfather one time. He said he pulled up to the house in like a big Cadillac and just gave my dad $100 bill and then like,
just
see you later. Yeah.
Sorry, I think this is a couple birthdays ago.
Yeah. But that reminds me of something I actually wanted to bring up to you. Have you heard about this podcast that's new? It's called Number One Dad.
No. I think I might have.
Well, there's this guy. This might jog your memory. There's this guy named Gary Veter who's a stand-up comedian. He opens for like Sam Morril and Nate Bargatze a lot. And his dad was a con artist for his whole life. And, Gary would be involved in these cons, sometimes knowingly, sometimes not, up until he was 15 when he stopped talking to his dad completely.
Yeah.
But the biggest con that they ever ran together was that Gary and his dad pretended that Gary, when he was in like 9, they pretended that he was a kids reporter for Sports Illustrated for kids.
Okay.
And they got into like Madison Square Garden, and he would get interviews with Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan, for real. All these stuff, get all this crazy stuff signed. And they did that for years, and nobody checked.
I think I say no, they can.
It's a fascinating story,
so
like to
funny.
run this con. And so now the podcast is him like learning more about who his dad was and then trying to track down his dad because they haven't spoken for 24 years. And I think I just listened to the newest episode on my way here. I think there's like 5 episodes out. And the first episode is all about the Sports Illustrated thing, because that's fascinating.
It's
like
insane.
that's why I wanted to get in there. But then it gets into like his dad had this crazy thing with AT&T, and I can't.
Oh, it was like a beef, like a feud.
It turned into that.
Yeah.
Like
Drake and Kendrick.
I don't want to spoil. Oh yeah, this was Drake. This is Drake and Kendrick.
He's calling every AT&T person a pedophile.
Oh yeah. AT&T is a pedophile for sure. It's Jeffrey Epstein's
certified
home line.
data plan certified pedophiles.
But there was this like huge lawsuit, and you have to listen to it. I don't know.
Oh, dude.
I'll send it to you right now.
Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah, and his dad.
When did this happen? Like the 90s?
Yeah. Well, he was yes, the 90s, because one of the games that they pretended to be where he was like the Sports Illustrated kids reporter was Jordan's 55 game in the Garden.
Oh yeah.
They were sitting courtside for that. His dad would pretend to be the photographer from Sports Illustrated, and then his son, and then this 4th grade kid would go in and interview all these players and stuff. And he said that it was really hard because you know how there are kids in elementary school who are like, my dad knows Michael Jordan and all this stuff. Like, well, he actually went to interview Michael Jordan, but he couldn't tell anybody about it or show them any pictures because then the jig's up. The con's all over.
And he knew, like, as a kid, it was a con.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
He
sick.
knew he wasn't actually working for Sports
dude,
Illustrated.
Yeah.
But his dad was like a full-on con man.
That's just
Destroyed the family. It's again, I
it
don't
had
want
to
to
be a
spoil
ride,
too much,
though,
but it's
you know?
so.
for the dad. The dad was
God, dude.
highs and lows,
A big part of the podcast is not just learning about the cons that he pulled, but trying to track this guy down and see where he is now.
Oh,
and
dude, he's got to be in the butt. He's got to be in like Reno, Nevada, or something.
He's not.
He's like not one of those shitholes.
No, he's not.
Like Tucson, Arizona.
He. God, I can't. I don't want to. Okay. So, he has been Gary's dad, Manny. His name's Manny Veter.
Okay, yeah.
He has been either the plaintiff or the defendant in 23 court cases.
Holy shit.
Including that big AT&T one. And he has represented himself in most of them.
That's so funny.
Including the divorce proceedings between Gary's mom.
That's kind of fucked up. At least get a lawyer for that one. Dude, the other one,
that's what's crazy.
You're just having fun.
Is they go into it in the podcast more in depth, but he represents himself in that divorce proceeding, And obviously
he had to be such a huge dick.
He's a con man, right? Like he's the one who's ruining this family. Faz, he got everything.
Oh, yeah.
He ruined this woman's life.
Yeah.
So, not a huge spoiler, but he is not living in Reno or Tucson. He lives in the house. He lives in Gary's childhood house because he got the house in the divorce.
What a dick.
Which, imagine, even in think about even in the 90s, like that never happened. Like the guy never got the house.
Never.
And this guy somehow, I mean, I can't believe more people aren't talking about.
He got the house and
crazy.
dumped the kid off onto her.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like it has to be one of the. Like you usually get the kid and the house.
Yeah. Usually, but he got everything. This guy.
Fuck?
It's insane, and the whole con with AT&T involves this like payphone business that he had set up. It's crazy, dude. And you have to listen.
It's like
to him,
Nathan Fielder versus Uber. It's like that's what it sounds like.
Oh my god, dude! It's like it's like dumb Starbucks, but like there's real stakes.
Yeah, dumb Starbucks was so funny. He just randomly shut it down too because it was doing too well.
Yeah, that Nathan. That's the thing. If you can use that power for good or evil, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God, I wonder if the rehearsal is ever going to come back.
It's gotta.
Because that show was too crazy.
Nathan For You is one of the funniest TV.
That was a great program. Comedy Central, man, even towards the end of their run, they had some cool... Do you ever see that show Review with Andy Daly?
No.
So funny. The premise of the show is he plays this character who has a show, and his like talk show is people... will ask him to review life experiences, anything. So they'll call in, and he has to do it. So sometimes somebody will be like, I always kind of wondered. I never wanted to because maybe I'd feel
sick. Are these real life people? Or are these
no.
Okay,
It's all. But in the premise of the it's
thank
all
God.
it's all fake. But,
yeah.
So it's not like Nathan For You in that way. But so sometimes they'll be like, yeah, I've always been afraid to because I thought maybe I'd get sick or something, but I wonder what it'd be like to eat 48 donuts in one sitting or something. So it'll be something like that. And then sometimes it'll be like, I wonder what it would be like to use a glory hole at a public restroom. And so this guy like ends up losing his family because he has to say yes. I think one of the episodes is literally somebody is like, what is it like to get a divorce? So then he goes home and he says to his wife, he's like, out of nowhere, he's just like, I want to get a divorce. And she loses it. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, to keep the integrity of the review, I can't tell her that it's for a review. That's a very funny show. It's really good. And this guy's life just gets worse and worse.
I can't watch South Park. Me and Jake talk about it. I can't watch South Park anymore. Like I used to love it so much when I was back in the day.
Yeah.
But now I just feel like it's like Eminem now, Like it's like that's how it is. Like it's just the same points about trans and COVID and all that shit.
It's funny you say that. I was thinking the same thing actually on the drive-in because they're doing all those Paramount Plus like specials.
Yeah.
And I thought the one that they did, the multiverse one that they did a while ago, whatever that was called. I thought that one was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
The COVID ones were not that good. But also, I mean, nobody wanted to hear about COVID.
No, I do. I think
point.
it's
like,
so cheap.
Who cares?
Still. Like, I think it's just
sucks.
cheap.
And then they just did a new one that came out a couple of weeks ago all about Ozempic. And I started to watch it, and I was like, damn, there's just no jokes in this.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
It used to be, like...
I know.
Peak.
I don't know what maybe they're just getting older and like
that's what it's gotta be.
Yeah, because
it's like Eminem came out on the album. It's just like every song is about trans and pronouns. It's like, dude.
And South Park used to make some like really funny points whenever they would talk about issues. They did it in just a hilarious way. But now it just feels again like jokes are really. There's not a lot of jokes.
Like Family Guy, I can watch still. Like that one cracks me up still.
Sure,
I'll throw that on because like. It's just stupid shit that they're always just doing.
Yeah.
It's like South Park, I feel like they're just not doing like the stupid shit they used to do, Like
That's
like
true.
the fucking like the Wonderland episode where they went to like Canada.
Incredible.
Like, incredible.
Even
TV.
like the Coon series.
Yes.
Or I was just thinking about the PS5 or the PS4 Xbox 360
yes.
where they're doing like the Game of Thrones thing or whatever.
It's so
the guy's
funny.
like, "Get out! Stop making deals in my garden like that."
He's like, why? He's like,
yeah.
there's so many hot women here, but my penis is always flaccid.
Damn. Even I feel like when we were in college, there was that season where like the cock magic episode. Did you see that one? Like that's insane.
It was great.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but now,
now
it's
maybe
coming. It's coming down since like COVID, like since like 2020.
You know, maybe they're just like they feel like they have to make a point or something.
Definitely.
Which is crazy. I mean, I'd hate to be a person in that situation where like you feel like you have to do something. But if you put yourself in that place where you kind of kid yourself into thinking that you have a responsibility to do anything,
Yeah, because they would do shit so like immediately, like Michael Jackson. Like they made fun of Michael Jackson when nobody was making fun of Michael.
Yeah, nobody was safe.
Like it was Kid Blanket. Like I remember that episode. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's a classic.
And then like Man Bear Pig, like Al Gore.
Obviously.
That was like the same year that Al Gore was going off about it. Like and now like because they did those ones so well, I feel like they try and do, but it's just not as funny.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's still like I still love that shit. You know, like a humor, like little kid humor.
Oh yeah. It's
like
a
that,
thing. It's
like,
not
immature middle school shit. Like
it's just a show feels different now.
Oh, speaking of middle school, this is a story I wanted to tell.
Yeah.
Totally talked about it before, forgot all about it. So when I was in middle school, we all had all of us shit starters in the same class, and we had a substitute this one day. And this is the only time we ever broke a substitute. Like really got him. We got him in trouble actually with the principal, but. My friend, so we have to do like you would answer a question on the board, and I think I like raised my hand because I knew it, and my friend he kept like he would look at me and he had a belt like thing out, and he was like stroking it while I was like trying to answer the question, and then he like would put his mouth down to like suck it, and like he kept making eye contact with me while he's like sucking the like doing the whole thing. Jerking it, sucking it, and
hell yeah, baby.
Yeah, he's going off on that thing. And so I'm like cracking up, and the teacher realizes that it's my friend that's making me laugh, but he doesn't know, he can't see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because he's like got it in a way that like only I could see it. And he's like, you gotta get that smile off your face. It's like, I can't get the smile off my face. And the sub's like, you either need to get that smile off your face right now or go to the office. He goes, I gotta go to the office. He got up and walked out, and they got so annoyed with him being in the office because he was just giggling and shit. Yeah. They walked him back, like the principal of the school, and they yelled at the substitute in the hallway.
Christ, dude,
it was fucked up. Felt bad for him.
Hell yeah, man.
He got caught in the crossfire.
That's one part about being a teacher that I just can't wrap my head around. Like, can you imagine being a grown man and having the principal of a school yell at you?
Yeah, in
front
of the class, like 8th graders.
I mean, that's just a terrible, terrible person, that principal. Like, if you're
he's not there
class,
anymore.
That's crazy. Yeah, we went through a couple.
The other thing that, same kid, we had the same social studies class, and dude, this is like 85% of the teacher for this one. But you're showing the JFK assassination to us as a class. And he when he got shot, the guy next to me just started cracking up. He's the same kid.
Dang.
He's just crying, laughing. He's like 360 no scope or something. He like yelled that shit. And then the teacher's like, why are you laughing? Like, this is a horrible thing. He goes, Jake told me a joke. I got kicked out. I didn't say a word. Didn't even say a word. Got kicked out, got screamed at and spit on. Like, he was like so close to my face, his spit was hitting me.
That's a president of the United States.
Yeah, dude, he was like he was an old
insane.
teacher. Dude, yeah.
Damn.
He's like, I don't want to hear about you going. It's like, you're gonna stay out here for the rest of class. It's like, I don't want to hear about you going to a hallway or going to get a drink, going to the bathroom. I don't want to hear about it. I was like, okay.
That's the old school, like, respect for the office type of thing.
Yeah, so I just stood out there.
That's nuts.
But then the English teacher across the hall, I had her, and she noticed I was out there, so she let me go in her room. And
that's cool.
Until the bell rang, and I went and got my shit and left.
I wish I didn't feel so, I mean, we were in high school such a long time ago at this point, and I wish I didn't.
Almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years, man. I wish I didn't still feel so vindictive and angry towards certain teachers. Like, there's two teachers who I never even had, And I still, honestly, to this day, regret never, like, taking a shit on their desk.
Just being a dick.
Just being, like, just really good. Because they were just the worst people.
Dude, and you know the worst part is, like, I've worked in schools.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I know how teachers are.
Yeah.
And, like some of them are, like, super nice people, and then they're just dicks to the kids for no reason.
Really?
Like, you have, like, I don't know. Like, it's just weird. Like,
I mean, it's a tough gig, dude, without a doubt. Like,
it sucks. But, like,
having to deal with you and your buddy, I mean, that's hard.
Oh, dude, it was horrible.
But
I was horrible every year.
Yeah. But you got to get some
really bad to some
I don't know.
teachers.
You got to get some perspective or something.
I had one
man.
teacher for 3 years for TV class, and I read 50 Shades of Grey out loud in class. So we had to be like director. Like, you would get a group, and if you were like good at it, you'd be the head of the group, and you would like direct people to like, hey, you're doing the scripts, do a video on this, like all that shit. And I got to do it, and I was like it was like the briefing of the week. And I just read like 3 pages of 50 Shades of Grey out loud in class as my briefing, and then sat down.
That is great.
Yeah, I got in trouble for that one.
You got through 3 pages though, man. That's something to be proud
dude,
of.
it was like I skipped to the middle of the book too, so I was reading
the
like,
hot stuff.
Yeah, I was reading like her getting dog walked around that guy's apartment or whatever.
Jesus
Dude, it was so funny.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did you ever see those movies?
No, I've
Me
never seen
neither.
one. My girlfriend saw all of them, but she
Yeah,
doesn't
women,
even want. She
women
doesn't,
are perverts, man.
she doesn't
Women
even
are
want me to
sick.
rewatch
No
it. She's
offense,
like,
man.
that movie sucked.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I heard a lot of people felt that way about like Magic Mike because
That movie's great.
Have you seen that one?
I've seen that one.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard that they bring you in with the dancing.
Yep.
And then
It's a lot
all
of
about
dialogue,
like
a
heroin and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's crazy.
Like, that's nuts.
The new one, I guess is bad though.
There's
one
3,
that just
right?
came out like a year or 2 ago.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it
I
was
hope
bad.
it's a prequel.
Yeah, they're putting McConaughey young again. Yeah.
Just like
He's in those
some
movies.
twink with a cowboy hat on. Hell yeah,
Dallas
brother.
Buyers Club, right there.
Save
There you go.
Save a horse, ride a Joe Dorado. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yes.
Looking to get some merch, such as hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, hit the link in the episode description or in the Instagram bio at Schemin Dreamin Pod. You can check out the website too at snackspot.se/career/teespring.com. And if you're interested in advertising on this show or our twin show, Two in the Cooler, email snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. Fuck large companies. Hit the link in the episode description and get 25% off your first purchase at CBDistillery. There is free shipping on orders of $75 or more. There are gummies, oils, chocolates, drink mixes, bombs, and even more chocolates. You can shop by benefit too. CBD to help relax, for sleep, for pain relief, and it's even good for your pets. There are new Delta 9 THC gummies available in states where legalized.
I was actually just in New York City. I was only there for the day, so I didn't get to see old Joey Hardball, but I talked to him a little bit. He's still doing well down there.
Oh, I
Taking
can't
pictures of hot
imagine,
sauce.
dude.
Doesn't he look like a guy who takes pictures of hot sauce for a living, though?
Yes.
That's insane.
exactly. He
Yeah.
looks like a guy that would take 3 minutes to tee off at Topgolf too.
He's weighed down by
We had
that
to give him a
full
fucking
denim jumpsuit.
fucking shot clock at Topgolf.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Dude, the waitress was like, "What is he doing?"
he's in the zone. Let him cook.
He's locking in.
Yeah,
ma'am.
excuse me, ma'am. He's locking in, ma'am.
Can't you tell?
I'll tell you what, best pina colada I've ever had in my life was at Topgolf.
That's insane.
I know, but it was so good. I still think about it. It was thick and delicious.
The farthest I've ever seen a golf ball get hit was by Ben Hutton at Topgolf. 300. What did he bet? He bet everybody $50 he could hit 300 yards. Right?
Oh, really? He was
Yeah.
throwing out so many numbers.
He bet
alright.
your brother. Your brother was for sure his number one target to bet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. I was like, just do. He hit it 75. I was like, just do it like a couple more times, man. You got it. Yeah. How was Paris? How was France?
Oh, well, dude, I've been traveling a lot
yeah.
lately.
Where'd you go?
I don't even think I got to tell you about my Los Angeles trip.
I didn't know you went to Los Angeles at all.
That was in, what's the month before April? March.
February.
February. It was in March, so I went to Los Angeles for a podcast convention, and I was super nervous
How
about
was it? Cool.
I ended up having a blast, man. Dude, you're not going to believe this shit. I I ended up sitting courtside at a Clippers game.
Holy shit.
I went to the most famous comic book store in the country, Golden Apple, which, for me is like a huge deal.
Yeah.
I smoked weed in front of the Kobe statue.
That's sick.
I met a porn star.
Which
I
porn
did the
star?
full...
Do you know her name? You gotta know it.
So I'll tell...
Is it Bella Danger?
No, that would be crazy, dude. Her name is Ryan Keeley. I gotta pretend like I don't remember it for a second. I gotta pretend
are you familiar with her work before?
So here's what happened. So we, they have all these panels and stuff where people are talking, and there's this woman who I was sitting next to, and we're talking because she's got like a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. So then the panel starts, and her friend comes in and sits down right next to her, and I'm like, that woman looks so familiar. I'm like, there's no way.
I feel like my dick has been in my hand before. I was looking
Wait a
at
minute,
her.
what? It's like starting to slowly
it's
move
magnet.
down.
It's like a magnet.
Yeah. So I'm like, holy shit, that's that porn star.
Yeah, I've come to her.
Yeah. So now for the whole panel, I'm just thinking like I have to restart a conversation with this lady so that she'll introduce me to this porn star.
Yeah.
So as soon as the panel's done, I turn to her and I'm like, great panel, right? By the way, Andrew Cana, blah blah blah, and she's like, oh, and this is my friend who I do the Dungeons and Dragons podcast with, and she goes over and she's like, hi, I'm Ryan, and I go, I'm a fan.
Oh, I know.
yeah. So we ended up talking about Dungeons and Dragons for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah, she was nice. She was cool. But I'll tell you what, man, those porn stars, they work hard, man, because you have to like monitor your own OnlyFans account and everything like that. Like, it's crazy.
Dude,
and
yeah.
you have to imagine, like, even, it's not like she's, one of the most, she's not like a Lisa Ann or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But she's like I recognized her, like she's
she's been around the block.
yeah. So
You've
like,
spun her videos.
if you're even that known, like, you must be getting so many people paying to message you a day. So you have to like respond
It's
to that.
the most insane and horny people ever.
Oh my god, dude!
I
It's gotta be
actually,
nuts.
dude. So I just watched a documentary. It was like a murder doc, and there's this guy in Florida. It was like 2019-ish. So he became obsessed with this like webcam girl, and like he's spending like, I think his dad was a pharmacist. His brother was those guys that does like the, when they put a shot in your back to like numb it before like surgery.
Oh yeah.
He did that. So his brother was loaded, and this guy was like just the loser of the family, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wanted to be a Twitch streamer. He just beat his dick. Like that's all he did to this chick. So he would say this girl was his girlfriend. She lived in like Bulgaria or something. Like he'd be like,
Nice.
oh yeah, like he had Discord like saying how they're dating and shit. He spent like $800,000 on just sending her like tokens
Yeah.
for the shit. Dude, the way they caught him, so he ended up murdering his family. He killed his family, stole their cards, took their phones, and they found him at Publix because he used his dad's credit card to send her money right after he finished beating.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he beat his dick at Publix.
I mean, it's a great grocery store.
Dude, I feel...
You ever been to Publix?
Oh, it's great.
I love it in there.
Their subs are
The
insane.
Publix subs are so good, man.
They're
and
so
I
good.
like a Wegman sub like well enough,
Better.
but they are better.
It makes it
They're
taste
way
like
better.
hospital food.
Yeah.
But dude, those porn stars, like the people they have to like interact with, I feel so bad for those
It's gotta be
women.
crazy.
It's insane. They
Yeah.
want some freaky shit too, probably. Like, yeah, it's not even for the love of the game anymore,
Yeah, exactly.
At what point,
Right. Oh.
I watched a documentary about porn stars living in like a house. Like,
Oh, I think I heard you talk
yeah,
about this.
and the shit they have to go through is just horrible for like. The
That's
pay.
why. I mean, it's insane. Like, I mean, we always
Like the
used to joke
snuff
about
shit?
like, what?
Like the snuff, like
That's like people getting killed, right?
tying them up, like bondage, like all that gross
That's
shit. Like
insane.
eating puke. One girl had to do. She had to eat her
That's
own puke.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
Who,
fucked.
man?
And those are just like regular like girl. Like they weren't like known porns. Like Ryan. Like
Yeah.
less than Ryan Keeley. Like let's
Right,
know that. Like we got Lisa Anns, we got Ryan Keeley's. Like these girls they're in the amateur amateur circuit.
They're like working part time at Walgreens still.
Yeah, they're trying to get to school for real.
Yeah. They got a nursing exam at 3:15.
Yeah, they got
at 2:15. They're eating
no
vomit.
reshoots. No reshoots.
we don't have the ability to edit. We got one ring light.
Yeah,
and
that's it. That poor guy. He got one raincoat too.
Oh, yeah. So Los Angeles was an absolute
That's
blast.
so sick.
The day I got there, I was super because I was just by myself. So I was on. I'll be
How the
honest.
hell
I was
did you
kinda
end up at the
nervous.
Clippers game?
I'll tell you. So, the day I got there, I flew in and the time difference, so I was pretty tired. I had to do a podcast with Matthew right away, and then I was like,
Did he come? No, it was just
no, we did it over Zoom. So I was like, I could either like, edit this and like take it easy, get ready to go for tomorrow, whatever, or
go see a thing.
I could see like what's happening in Los Angeles if there's anything.
Do you
cool
like
to
LA?
do.
Like I've heard people say it's like one street's really cool, and then the rest of it's just a shithole.
I didn't see a ton of it, to tell you the truth, but the part I was in was awesome, and then when I went to that comic book store, incredible. But yeah, I mean, tons of homeless shit. Yeah. It's a lot. It's pretty much exactly what you hear. It's like exactly what you hear. Yeah. But so I get off the podcast with Matthew, and he's like, "You should just do something, man."
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? He's right. So I'm like, well, I'll see what's going on. And then there was some like thing at the hotel that tells you what's happening in the city that day or whatever. And
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great. So and there was a Clippers game. So I'm like, oh man, I haven't been to an NBA game in so long. This would be so fun. So I'm like, well, I'll see how far away the stadium is. If I feel like Ubering over there, like with the crowds and all this shit,
yeah,
like blah,
traffic
blah, blah.
and shit.
Yeah. And it's like, games at 7:30. It's like 6:30 right now. And so I put in my GPS, crypto.com arena, whatever it is now, and it says 800 feet away.
Oh, dude.
So I look out my window and down at the street, and there's all these people in Clippers jerseys like walking one way. So I'm like, fuck, okay, it's an hour before the game. I got time. I'm going to go do this.
Yeah.
So I go and I look, and there's one like courtside seat available. And it's not like right at the court, where like the celebrity sit or whatever. It's like right back, but it's still like technically courtside.
Yeah, it's like,
but it's not like those 1 or 2 rows or whatever.
Yeah, you're not
sitting
next to Shaq.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still like these courtside seats. And so I click on it, and it was $500.
That's not that bad.
That's what I'm saying, dude. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go. So I get the ticket, and I just walk across the street to the arena, and I go in, and I'm like, I don't really know where to go. Like, I don't know. So I just I walk all the way down.
People.
I go into one entrance, and I walk all the way down to the bottom, and there's a woman standing there. And I'm like, hey, I don't know where to go. I'm like showing her my ticket. She's like, have you ever sat down here before? I'm wearing my jean jacket and my It's Clobbering Time Fantastic Four Thing t-shirt. I'm like, no, actually. This is
what do you think?
This is a first for me. I got my Bart Simpson hat on. So she's like, okay, this is where you sit right here. And then if you go that way through the gate, there's like a guy with a red jacket. Show him your ticket, and he'll show you there's like the Lexus Lounge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it, okay. So I go to the guy with the red jacket, and I'm like, where do I? And he's just like, there's so many people over here. He's just like pointing. And so now I go into the tunnel. And I'm under the stands. I'm in the back of the arena, and there's like this weird. It's almost like that Eyes Wide Shut. Like there's this weird, translucent like curtain of blue with like the Lexus logo on it. And you go through there, and dude, they have like a meat carving station. They have sushi. There's 2 bars, and guess what? It's free.
Oh my god!
It's all free. It all comes with the ticket.
Hammered?
Dude, my pockets were full of hot dogs.
This is for later.
Yeah.
So for later.
I'm like going nuts in this place. So I go to my seat, and I am sitting down next to this woman who like looks like a typical
insane.
like Los Angeles lady.
Yeah.
Like she looks like she
never worked a day in her life like that.
Kind of, but she looks like, how the Kardashians, like if you look at pictures of them as kids, they're like ugly kids, but then they got money and they like look really pretty now. That's what she looked like. She looked like maybe she was kind of homely when she was young, but now she's like rich and she's got like, and she's
Everybody
fucking gorgeous.
gets the fucking
Yeah.
those surgeries out there.
And
in Miami.
her husband is sitting next to her, and he looks like a handsome version of Turtle from Entourage, like exactly like that. So I'm like, I am going to be best friends with this guy, and I'm looking down, and he's got Prada sneakers on that look like they're fresh out of the box.
Oh my God.
Like crazy. So I'm like, okay, how do I get in with this guy? I'm like talking to him a little bit, and then we're watching the game, and I toss a couple jokes out there. There's one guy who's dressed in like short shorts and big goggles, and he like makes he gets fouled, so he goes to the line. I'm like, this guy came all the way back from 1983 to make these free throws, and he loved that. So I'm like, fuck yes, Jerry Ferraro.
You're hitting.
Yeah. So then I end up hanging out with them at the Lexus Club and stuff, and they're both personal injury attorneys.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And they're like, you got to go to Rodeo Drive and like go to like the Louis Vuitton store and like all the shopping. And I'm like, that sounds great.
Oh, dude, I can't wait.
So man,
maybe I'll see you guys there.
You know, it was $500. Like it was not cheap, but also when you're sitting at those seats, they have you don't have to go to get food or anything. There's a waitress, dude.
Oh, really?
She comes up, and they give me. I still have the paper menu that says Crypto.com courtside menu on
sick.
it. Yeah, and they'll bring you like whatever you want. You just order it for her.
Can you give me some hot dogs? I lost my jeans.
Yes, 100%, man. So then, I just have this moment where I'm sitting there.
Watching the Clippers lose by 25.
Well, they were playing the Pacers, so it was a shitty game.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's just bricks
So it was
after
close.
bricks.
But I'm sitting there at one point. I got my legs crossed, and I'm drinking a glass of Cabernet courtside at the Clippers game. I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever done.
That is
ridiculous.
So
funny. So, that was before the conference even started. So I'm like, you know what? No matter what happens at this thing, this trip was worth it. Like, that was so fun.
That was sick.
So I ended up having a really good time. I was actually, when I was just in New York last Sunday or whatever, I was there meeting up with one of the guys who I met at the convention to do his podcast. He has a show where he's trying to find the most mediocre meal in America.
That's hilarious.
It's really, really funny. Yeah, he's a good guy. So we went to Perkins on Staten Island.
Oh, God.
It was insane.
That had to be the most...
Dude,
I'd say that's in bad territory. That's
the thing. It's yeah, that's the thing, because he's gone to some places that are like pretty good, and he's gone to some that are really bad. But if it's really bad, it's like that's not what you're looking for. He's looking for that 5 out of 10.
You're right in the middle,
and he really sticks.
He's trying to get
it.
the Mendoza line.
Yeah, but that was fun. But
dude, so the only time I've never been to an NBA game. I almost went to the Lakers Nuggets game when they were playing the playoffs, but I was with my brother and his friend, and it was right after Vegas. So when we went to Vegas, we had a 4-hour layover in Denver. And I was like, listen, I would be down to just buy us a hotel room and go to the game if either of you had $1 in your bank account. I was like, I just had to buy your friend who I met on this trip, Panda Express. I was like, if you guys had $40 combined, I would buy us tickets. I was like, we're missing watching LeBron James and Jokic play basketball.
Yeah,
right
100%.
now because you guys can't. I was like, because you guys would just financially ruin me worse.
That sucks.
I was right there. Then they slept on the floor for the 4 hours. I bought Panda Express. And then they both fell asleep for 3.5 hours. I just sat there raw dogging this layover.
Oh my God!
I didn't. My phone was dead. Just sat there in that chair and stared.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Layovers are tough.
Yeah, you probably had a crazy one. I mean, you went to how long was that flight to?
8 hours.
8 hours. There's no world I could.
Yeah, it was pretty long.
I would have been trying to jump out the plane by hour 5.
Honestly, I mean, 8 hours is a long time.
It's a shift.
I felt bad for like the flight attendants because I can't even. I mean, and also these planes are fucking huge, right? They're
so
Airbuses,
big.
so like you have to deal with like I mean, think about the piece of shit you see on like a normal flight, and then I mean multiply that number by so many.
Oh yeah, again the 250
rows of seats.
Yeah,
like that's gotta be brutal. But yeah, I'd never been to Europe before, so I didn't know what the deal was. I was definitely nervous.
Did you like
that.
it there?
Oh my God, 100%.
Sick.
It was awesome.
Better than America?
Fuck no, dude. Not even close.
They don't even have the 4th of July.
No fireworks, nothing. It was, dude, one thing I was saying to Matthew was like, one of the reasons, honestly, I enjoyed the trip was because I think I could beat the shit out of anybody in that country.
You think Hardee's, like a breakfast at Hardee's could kill a European
Oh
person?
my God, a grand slam would take down the entire east coast
we
of
could
that.
take over
Yeah,
France
they'd destroy them.
with Denny's.
Yeah, it was like even we were at this one town and there were these bikers and they look just like American bikers, like they're pretty burly guys. They got a bunch of tattoos, big.
And then you hear their accent, and you're like,
and then you
bitch.
hear them talk, and it is literally like, and I'm like, oh, I could fucking.
How did a
wreck these
4'11"
guys.
guy from here take over the world? Like, that would never happen with America.
So we spent 3 days in Paris, and then we went on one of those Viking cruises, and it like takes you around.
Do you
and
rape
then-
and pillage?
Yeah, rape and pillage, kind of get the full
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
And then
Get
after
character.
when we got off the boat, we spent 3 days in Nice, which is like the
that's
south
sick.
of
Yeah,
France.
yeah. That's supposed to be like a fancy. Like,
It was weird. Dude, that place was so interesting
yeah.
because you're absolutely right. It's very fancy. Like a lot of it's also right near Cannes where that film festival is. So
Yep.
like a lot of people, like very famous people, go there, and a lot of them own houses there. And that's what's so strange about it is because the celebrity is built into like the history of this place. Like we had to take a bus to get to where we were staying there, and the guy on the bus, he's kind of giving a little bit of a spiel.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've been on tours before. People point shit out. There's this building, and
tours, man.
the thing about the building that was impressive, that why this building was known, he points it out. He's like, this is where Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's twins were born. Like, that's what's famous about that
That's not
building.
good anymore.
Like, how weird is
It's
that?
really bad. They don't like him anymore.
Well, dude,
Did you hear about that shit? About the plane or whatever he did?
plane?
I guess he was on like a flight. And he choked Angelina Jolie in front of his kids. And then some kid tried to stop him. And he like hit his kid and like pushed him down.
No way.
Yeah.
Well,
And now
who's saying this?
his family I guess one of his daughters got like a I don't want to be with
Yeah,
him
that's
ever
what
again
I heard.
after
She took
turned
the
18.
pit out of her name.
Yeah, and I guess since the plane, like that was years ago when she was like younger.
Yeah.
I guess since then his family, like they all one after another have been cutting him off.
Dude.
I know, right? He's
That
so cool,
sucks.
and I wish he wasn't.
And like
Like
I
that.
mean, you hear the story about how he like screamed at, like he stood up to Harvey Weinstein when he was
Yeah.
trying to prey on Gwyneth Paltrow and stuff. Fuck, that sucks.
I know, dude.
That's
It hurts.
shitty.
I'm still gonna enjoy.
You ever
his
see his
movies.
pubes? You ever see Brad Pitt's pubes? Oh, dude.
You ever see 12 Monkeys?
No, I haven't.
12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys.
I kind of want to watch it
It's
though.
great.
I've heard it's a pretty cool movie. Bruce
is?
Willis is in that too, right?
Yes, he is.
Isn't that like a time travel movie?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
And
I might
Brad
watch
Pitt's
that.
like 12 Monkeys.
Dude,
You'll see how good of an impression that is when you watch the movie too. By the way,
I've heard people do like him from that movie, and that sounds spot on.
it's good. It's a good one. You gotta see it.
The guy who was so when we were in Nice, the guy who was our tour guide was this dude named Michel. And he was a fascinating dude, Jake. I know.
Oh,
but
and
he
dude,
was
that's how
so
he's
interesting.
doing tour buses.
Bro. So the reason I bring it up is because he like knows Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, like personally.
That's why he points out.
Which
the
again is
building.
weird. No, he didn't point out the building. This is a different.
Oh,
that was
okay.
a different guy. So Michel is telling us about his life. Like I'm kind of talking to him like after the tour because I'm like I got to get to know
This guy.
dude.
This guy.
Something's interesting about this guy.
This guy's got
So
a
it
story
turns
to
out.
tell.
So Nice, there's this. There's this country called Monaco. Do you know it?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's where like that crazy Monte Carlo casino is.
Yeah, yeah.
So they have like a prince and stuff there. It's like it's the wealth in that country is
Insane.
indescribable.
Yeah. Singapore, I heard, is like the same way because it's
And
tiny
this-
and just so rich.
It's a lot like that,
Yeah.
right? But even more condensed. The whole country, dude, is 0.8 square miles.
oh my god,
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, you blink, you miss it.
Yeah.
like you're driving through. Oh fuck.
It's wild. So
Look at that casino. Oh,
I mean, the stuff that goes on there, the money, it's crazy. So Michel is telling us that he grew up in the Palace of Monaco with Prince Albert, who's the current prince. His mom was Grace Kelly, who's the famous
Yeah, I
movie
know.
star.
Yeah.
So I didn't know any of this.
I know who she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Michelle's telling me how he like grew up in the palace. His mom was best friends with Grace Kelly and all this stuff. So I'm like, Michelle, like, so why did you become a tour guide? Because if you grew up like that, like, it sounds like you could have done anything you wanted to. And he's like, I knew I wanted to be a tour guide since I was 8 years old because I saw this movie, and I don't remember what the movie is called, but it's about a tour guide. And I'm watching this, and is this man, and he has a girlfriend with blonde hair in this city and a girlfriend with dark hair in this city. So I think that seems like a pretty good life. And he went to tour guide school at 16 or whatever, and that's what he's based his whole life on. So here's the other thing. So the reason that his mom and his...
That guy should kill himself.
No, dude, Michelle is the best guy. I mean, I mean, who else can who can say they followed their dreams like that? Like,
Yeah.
they watched a movie like this,
Dude,
and they're
like-
like, I'm sticking to it.
He's a
And
Nepo tour
old-
guide.
He's
He's a
old as
Nepo
shit
tour
now.
guide.
He's old as fuck now.
It's Nepo. It
Doesn't matter,
he was
man.
placed
It's
in the
worth
tour
it. It's
school.
incredible.
Some guys had to grind to get to tour school.
I mean, he made it sound pretty competitive. to tell
Yeah,
you the truth.
definitely, you know?
I
like,
mean,
it's
out
like being a
there, that's what
doctor. Yeah,
a guy's driving your cab. He's like, "Yeah, I was a tour
Fucking-
guide in my home.
can't go to dinner with you guys. I gotta study up on which building's which. Gotta match it tomorrow.
Seriously, I mean, they do take that very seriously.
Yeah,
over
that was
there.
fucked up.
It was kind of wild. No, you're absolutely right. Like, that's fucking stupid. But he,
Dude, he got so much money. He lived in like the nicest place like you can
I know, but
imagine.
I
He's
don't
like
know. And it's weird. So
he could have had women just coming in from different cities into his palace of a casino instead of going.
So the reason that he
He
like
just
got to grow up in the palace was because his mom and Grace Kelly were best friends because his mom was heavily involved in charity. So he and Prince Albert were like close in age. So Grace Kelly was like, "Why don't you guys just come and live here and we can like raise these two kids together and have a blast?" So Michel and his mom go to live in this palace. His dad and his 3 other siblings stay in the French Alps, and that's where they live. But the other interesting thing about this guy, and I can't wait to see how you make fun of this because I know it's going to be good, and I'm putting too much reverence into it. But so, like I said, his mom was huge into charity.
Yeah.
And so Michel is also huge into charity. He's part of this big charity organization.
Where does it go?
It goes it goes all over the world.
Okay.
And a big part of it is like running orphanages and things. So that's how he knows Angelina Jolie, because Michel has 3 orphanages in South America that he's like in charge of.
Bruce Wayne.
And one of them is owned by Angelina Jolie.
Okay.
So
Ugh.
he retired from being a tour guide 3 years ago. This is what he tells me while he's giving me a tour. I'm like, what are you talking about?
He picked his boots back up.
Yeah, so I guess when he retired, they were like, Michelle, we need you back.
No
like, you're
way.
so good at your job.
No.
And he's like, okay, I'll come back.
Did he give him
But
conditions?
my entire salary, what I'd be getting paid, goes to those 3 charities. So all the money that he would make as
That's
a tour
nice
guide
of
goes
him.
to charities. Yeah, he's a nice guy, man. That's the point I'm trying to get across, is that Michelle is not a bad dude.
No, I didn't think it was bad. I just questioned some decisions.
I mean, it was that's so
some
crazy.
motivations.
Yeah. But France I really liked it there a lot, actually. Paris was, I expected to hate it, but I got to tell you, man, it's a city that lives up to the hype.
Good
it
food?
was so, yeah.
Really?
And I'm like I'm an escargot guy.
Yeah.
Like, I like that stuff. And so I had to get some, and they give it to you in the shell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they give you like this weird like claw utensil, so you grab onto the shell, and they give you like an oyster fork type thing.
That's pretty sick.
And you got to fucking dig
Dude.
it out of there.
Making you work for it.
Yeah, but it was really good. Yeah, the food was awesome. We had so much
You're
fun.
clean there?
Huh?
Or it's stinky over there.
Oh,
Or am I thinking of Greece?
probably both.
I
I
think-
think Greece more
Greece
so.
is hairy people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hairy down there.
So we went to the Louvre. Was one of the things we did while we were in Paris, and they got the Mona Lisa there. That's
Yep.
like the big thing everybody's got to see. So, the Mona Lisa.
Did you see it? Did you crank in front of it?
Yeah. Oh,
Is
fuck
it
yeah,
nice?
dude.
Was it cool looking? It's
It
just
looks.
painted?
Dude, I mean, it's a very famous painting.
It's really
It was
cool,
so
like the
sick to
story.
see.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see. Like, I never thought I'd ever get to see it in person. I didn't really care, but I never thought it, so it's cool that I
Yeah.
got to see it.
Did
But
you
so,
steal it?
God, I wish. I was so close. I almost got away with it, dude. But so, they have the painting. You know, it's just a regular size painting. It's in this big room, and there's paintings all over the walls, and then there's this standalone wall in the center of the room, and that's where the Mona Lisa is. And they have these two, like, ropes that kind of funnel people.
Yeah, it got stolen. That's why they got. Yeah, you gotta be careful now.
I mean, it gets like, what's the word? Like, defaced all the time.
Yeah.
Like, constantly people.
It's so fucked
so
up.
easy to, like, throw animal blood or, like, whatever people.
It's kinda fucked
They do
up,
it all
though,
the
you
time.
know?
It is.
Like that's
But it
not her
happens
fault.
constantly there. It's insane. So everybody is in this funnel going towards the thing, and dude, that room smelled so
Oh,
bad.
God,
I'll never
yeah.
forget how bad that
They
room
don't bathe
smelled. It was
regularly. I
disgusting.
heard because I took a
Yeah,
French
and
class.
there's no air conditioning there. So like people are gonna smell.
So
They're
stupid.
just gonna smell, and that room.
But like, how do you
smelled
just
so
live
bad.
with that? Like, I get it. Like,
It's just though it's the only life you know, I guess, man. So my wife really wants to get a picture of because it's a Mona Lisa, right?
yeah, it's sick.
So I'm with her, like trying to plow my way to the
Pushing.
front with him, and everybody's looking through their phone, so nobody's really looking at each other. So it's all just weird. And then we're getting up to the front, and just the hairiest, sweatiest arm of all time, like grazed my elbow, and I was like, I'm turning around. This is not worth it.
Yeah,
So I still got to see it.
not
like,
worth
I was-
it. The picture of the Mona Lisa.
Not even no. And I just turned
That
around.
sweaty
It was
French man.
disgusting. It was so gross.
You would have been king back in the day.
Yeah,
They probably made him king.
he's the sweatiest of all of us.
Yeah, he's the sweatiest and hairiest and biggest.
They just wring out your shirt.
Just
whoever
hope that
fills
his
the
wife
cup
has
the
a
most.
boy. You know.
Dude, this is something that blew my mind, that I spent way too
Do you
much
see a
thinking
guillotine
about.
in there?
No guillotines.
Fuck.
I was on the lookout, but they didn't have any. But in that country of Monaco, there's a real law. This is a law
Women
that's
can't
in effect
drive?
right now. Women are not allowed to drive. No, but there's a real law there right now that if the Prince of Monaco does not have a male heir, the country goes back to being the property of France.
That's crazy.
That's like isn't that some medieval?
They can.
That's
definitely-
crazy.
Like, there's got to be a way to work around that.
I don't know, man.
kinda
It's
fucked
wild. It's insane. But it was a fun trip.
You
It
see
was-
Wemby?
No.
I saw somebody tweet. It was like, "What is his third contract gonna look at?" And someone said they're just gonna give him a Saudi prince.
Dude, I saw the yacht, the Saudi Prince yacht
Really?
when we were in Monaco. Yeah.
Holy dude, it must
It's
have been
like a
insane.
city.
Really?
Yeah, it's big.
I'm not. See,
It's not like a city, but it's like an apartment building.
I think I could handle a cruise. Like, I think I could do that.
Yeah.
It's just flying, you know. Like,
Right.
my girlfriend asked me to go to Bahamas
Yeah.
like last week. I was like, no, like, dude, I'm not fucking. No way. I was just terrified of. Like, I know the plane's not gonna go down. I'm always like, what if? You know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna die instantly.
Yeah, I know, man. I know you and Ben are afraid of flying. Matthew is still afraid of flying, but he used to be terrified of flying.
Yeah.
But now he's so much better. But like, I wish I could relate to that more. But I really enjoy flying,
Dude, like-
And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you two things. First and foremost, when you're on one of those huge Airbuses like we took to France, you don't feel like you're moving at all.
Really?
Because the thing is so fucking big. Like, you don't feel any.
Where'd you fly out
turbulence.
of? JFK.
No, fuck.
Is it like
I can't
Florida
remember.
or Orlando?
No,
They
it
do
was
international, don't they?
it might have been like Philly or something.
Really?
Or Chicago, maybe.
Oh, okay, probably Chicago. That's a big
yeah,
ass airport.
I don't know.
I went there before I went to Vegas.
Yeah.
That place.
But
Vegas is the best place in the world, I think, and the absolute worst place in the world.
man, by the time I got out of there, because I was there for Dorico's bachelor party. I told you what happened there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time I got out of there, I was like, "Fuck! This place has physically beaten the shit."
Oh,
out of
dude,
me.
the same here.
Like that's what it felt like.
Dude, but like we were there for 5 days.
No way.
Yeah, well, yeah, 4 days, 5 nights, or 4 nights, 5 days.
That's nuts.
And
That's
like the 4th day,
yeah.
I was just going to racing. I was just on retainer going to Raising Cane's and in and out pretty much.
Yeah.
And we were walking there, and I was wearing like a black Patagonia shirt, just sweating. It was like 99. And I'm like, I wish it was fucking 50 degrees right now. So, I just want to die.
Yeah, that place it's tough, man. And also, you kind of bring up a good point there. Like, there's not a lot of good places to get food, really.
Horrible.
Like, it's all fast food on that.
Or
in that
you're
area.
paying $300
Exactly.
for
It's nuts.
Dude, I bought a toothbrush and like a bag of tiny chips. Like my first night in there because it was like midnight.
Yeah.
Forgot my toothbrush. Paid $25. I was like, dude. It's like this is how it's gonna be all the time.
Yeah, that place, like, yeah,
It's sick,
can,
though.
you can lose your whole life there. It's wild that places like that
So
exist.
cool though.
Some of it's awesome. Some of it's awesome.
You go to Fremont ever?
I don't think so.
There's like a zip line.
Oh no.
And there's like a giant like it's just like a rotating like TV like at 1 a.m. it's just like bright. Like
Yeah, dude, that was the thing that blew me away as well. Is
Like
it
the
walking
lights.
outside at night and it's like it feels like the daytime.
Yep.
Like you can see that it's dark way up there, but like it feels like it's the middle of the day.
So my first interaction in Vegas, right? It's like 12:30. We just got off the plane and we're going upstairs to our room to drop our shit off. This guy he's wearing all red. Just a full red suit, red hat. You know, he's fun, he's hammered. He's drinking Hennessy, he tells us, out of his Raisin Cane's cup. He's like, "Yo, you guys just get in?" And we're like, "Yeah." He goes, "You should head down to Taco Bell." We're like, "It's like, oh, dude, I'm not that hungry, you know?" And he's like, No. Taco Bell's like a nightclub here."
Dude, Sam wandered off to Taco Bell.
And I was like, dude, what do you mean? He's like, "It's like 2 stories." He's like, there's hoes in there. It's like
Dude.
a Cat Williams sketch, dude. It was unbelievable. He's like, "I'm just dropping off this Cane's. I'm drinking Hennessy on my cup right now, and I'm gonna head back over."
I mean, we're talking
like,
about
oh, I can see
Ben
that,
with
man.
the Uber drivers. Imagine Ben in the Taco Bell nightclub.
Oh, dude, he'd
clean up.
Yeah,
it'd be insane.
Those women, they wouldn't even be able to look at their dad in the eyes.
Give you that gordita crunch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, he loves fingers all around him. You know, it's just what I've heard.
Before we get out of
Yeah.
here, there's a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. Well, not really, but I have to come clean on this.
All right,
I'm so excited for Deadpool Wolverine, dude.
me too.
I said I wasn't gonna watch any trailers or anything. I couldn't hold true to that. I've watched.
Would you watch
some.
like the original one, like the first one?
Oh yeah, I've watched.
Yeah.
I haven't watched everything,
there's-
but I've watched.
there's
I've
like 3
watched
out.
stuff. But so I've also been rewatching. I rewatched the 2 Deadpools already, and I rewatched the whole Wolverine trilogy,
Yeah,
like Origins,
the
the Wolverine,
What a movie!
which
The ending battle of that movie is unbelievable.
I remember going to the theater to watch that and thinking like this sucks so bad. But rewatching it, I was like, most of this movie is
It's
pretty
good up until the end.
The end is so bad,
Yeah,
dude.
it's so
crazy.
bad.
It's still an improvement on Origin because Origin,
Definitely, Origin still sucks.
there's like a few minutes that are cool, and then the rest is just like unwatchable.
Actually, I think maybe the best scene of that entire movie is when Deadpool goes into he gets off the elevator. And
Oh, yeah.
he's swinging that thing around.
Yeah,
and then
like
they-
a lot of the very beginning stuff of that movie is like pretty good, and then it just gets insanely bad,
Horrible.
like just
Out of
crazy
nowhere.
bad. Yeah, it's wild.
I'm
Logan still rules.
Logan rules.
Still good. But then I watched Days of Future Past also.
Wait, what do you think of the? Do you like the second Deadpool?
Yeah, I still like it.
I think Cable, he's great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's so good.
Josh Brolin is the man. I
cracks
love
me up
the
for that.
kid, Russell.
Kid? Dude, yes.
He is so funny. The first time watching it in theaters, and I'd never heard the term prison wallet before.
It's
That
so
blew my mind. That made me laugh so hard.
Where they were calling him racist in the back of when they're all driving
Yeah.
in the taxi and they're calling Cable racist.
That is
That scene made me laugh
hilarious.
so hard.
That's a great. It's a good ass movie, man. Brad Pitt cameo in that movie.
Yep, he was.
God, all that, dude. Like
Calling that one dude
especially
his kitten and shit. Like that was.
especially rewatching that now. Like there are like smaller jokes that I appreciate so much more.
Yeah.
Like Bill Skarsgård he's the acid throw up guy. He gets sucked into the wood chipper, and then that regular guy, Peter, I think is his name. He goes up to him. He's like, "We're X-Force, baby!" Like they're so bonded over nothing. It's so funny.
Don't do it. Just don't. Doesn't even save the other guy.
Yeah, he's
just tells him to go home.
I hope that guy shows up in the next one.
Oh, never mind.
Was he in a?
He was in a trailer.
All right, whatever. It's spoiler. But now, I have a really strong urge, and maybe you can talk me out of it. I have a really strong inkling to rewatch Dark Phoenix.
There's no reason
or at least
for
some
that.
of it.
I've never even watched it.
You never saw it?
I can't bring myself to do it. I watched Apocalypse,
smart,
and
man.
I said nope.
Yeah.
Apocalypse was like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, and
Like,
that
what
movie, I do wish that movie was better.
Yeah, after that one was mid, and everyone was like,
That one, that's one of the most mid movies of all time.
well, people hate it. Like,
Yeah,
they say
I know.
it sucks. Like, I think it's mid. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was that bad. It's
No,
just
I
too
don't
long.
think so either.
But
Like, there's some cool stuff in there. I really
definitely
like
the last
that version
fight
of
at the end
Nightcrawler.
too was great.
Sure.
Nightcrawler Next 2 is so good though. There we
Yeah,
go.
he's awesome.
Makes that movie for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Alan Cumming. Floop from Spy Kids.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, he's the man.
Dude, I just found out that guy, Glenn Powell, how
Yeah.
he's in like every movie now.
Hell yeah.
He was in Spy Kids.
Yeah, I know.
I had no
He's
idea.
in Spy Kids 3D.
That's a
Game over.
That one I probably saw the most too.
Yeah, me too.
Unfortunately.
Because I had it on DVD. That's the
Me
only
too.
one I had on
Yeah,
DVD.
me too.
And it came with the 3D glasses.
I
shit
loved
was
Lord of
wild.
the Rings when I was young too.
Really?
So I liked Elijah Wood.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw.
Because he's the guy, right?
Yeah,
he's the actual guy.
he's like the friend.
Dude, I love Glenn Powell.
Me too, dude. That movie.
I can't get enough of that guy.
Did you watch that?
He's a fucking movie star. Yeah, I watched it.
He was a great movie. I
Have you
think
seen,
Twisters is gonna be great too.
I hope it is. I've never seen the original Twister.
I did.
My
We watched
wife
it in
is
science
like,
class.
I've heard that it was like that movie made a ton of money. Like it was a really big, like
This one
popular
will, too,
movie.
yeah.
I hope so because
I want more
I
Glenn
love him
Powell.
so much.
Yeah.
and he's so good in
You ever
Maverick
watch like
too.
his like interviews or anything? He's just funny. He's funny.
Yeah,
as shit.
I actually just saw like it was maybe 20 seconds of him behind the scenes of Twister, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, he's willing to talk about anything. He
Yeah.
just lets it fly.
Have you seen Everybody Wants Some?
No.
You have to watch it, Jake. You have
Is
to
that
watch
him
that
too?
movie. He's in it. He's in it a
What's
lot.
it about?
He's not the titular character, but it's the same director as Hitman.
Okay.
That's where they like got together. That's it's like an unofficial kind of sequel to Dazed and Confused because again,
okay, that's a good movie.
same director,
Yeah.
Richard Linklater. So it's about like a college baseball team, like the first 3 days while they're there, like at the start of training, but before school classes start. It's incredible. It takes place in the early 80s, I think.
Oh, that's probably
Jake,
fun.
you have to watch it. You'll love this movie.
I'll
I
give it a
know
try.
you like bad movies, but this one, you got to throw a good one in there once in a while.
Oh, dude, I do.
And this one,
You know,
you gotta watch
Ben
it. It's
actually,
so good.
when I told him I was going to see Longlegs, I was like, Nick Cage plays a serial killer in it, and he was like, that guy still gets movies put on in theaters, and I was like, dude, he's a good actor.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's a really good actor.
I know that he did a string. I think
He
it's just
still
because
does strange movies.
yeah, and I think it's just because like those are like lower budget movies that like nobody saw, and a lot of them are super out there, and maybe parts of them aren't
he just likes
good.
doing that shit.
He just likes acting, man. I think he likes to push himself as an actor, and he's dude. I remember, I read some stuff in like Seth Rogen's book, which is very good because that guy, he is not protecting anybody.
No, he
He
lets
doesn't
everything
hold back at all. And he talks about Nick Cage a little, man. Yeah, Nick Cage, sure, he sounds like a pretty eccentric guy, to put it kind of politely. But he's dedicated to his craft, and
He's
you
not
got to
hurting
one
anybody.
way, you got to respect that one way or another.
I was like, dude, like that movie he did with Pedro Pascal, like where he played himself.
Yeah.
It was great.
That was a great
It was
movie.
a great movie.
It honestly folded my brain a little bit because it was like the most meta thing I've ever seen.
And he did
But it was-
do all that
it
dumb
worked,
shit,
and
where he
somehow
just
it
sold
worked.
all the shit because he's nuts.
Dude, you gotta. I mean, I remember when Russell Crowe did that, and the big piece was he was selling his cod piece from Gladiator.
I think that second Gladiator movie, I don't have high hopes for.
Yeah, there's no way.
It looks bad.
Is Denzel in that?
He is.
Okay,
They said he doesn't do an accent or anything.
Yeah, why
He's
would
just
you?
the same Denzel as in like that fucking Equalizer movie. Like he
I'm
just
worried.
plays that with a beard.
I'm worried that Denzel has like kind of given up on pushing himself.
I think
acting-wise.
he's just trying to do like dad movies now.
I think he's just trying to get a paycheck, honestly, which sucks because he's a legitimately talented guy.
He's an insane
like
actor.
without a doubt.
Great actor.
But I think he's just been beaten down so much. Like I think after that movie Fences, you remember that?
I didn't see it.
Nobody fucking did. But he put his heart and
was like a
soul
passion
into that
project.
movie. And it, was nominated for a lot of Oscars. He was nominated for Best Actor. I think that's the year Joaquin won.
Yeah, with Joker.
But I mean, he put his heart and soul into Fences, dude. And it just totally shit the bed. Like it got nothing. He got nothing out of it. So I get the sense from him now that he's like, whatever. They don't want me. I don't want them. Like I'm not going to give them the best that I got. I'm done like putting myself through the ringer to get absolutely nothing out of it. Whatever. And that sucks cuz we're going to, lose out on a lot of sick
one of the
performances
best
from
talents,
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you, what's that movie where he's like the flight guy?
Oh, Flight.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
Yes, that movie was so good.
That was a good
When he comes in
movie.
the courtroom with his trench coat. Oh, it's so badass.
Yeah. That's a good movie.
Fuck. Yeah, now he just makes dad movies. He's
Yeah.
gonna make movies I'm gonna like in 20 years.
Yeah. Gladiator 2 is actually not that bad. Although, dude, you say what you want about the Equalizer. That first Equalizer movie is, I love
watched
it.
all three.
Of course you
don't
did.
even
Of
don't even
course
go
you
there.
did. I love that first
Wait till you
Equalizer
see
movie. It's so
him
good.
fighting on top of a lighthouse in the middle of a hurricane to save a boy in his trunk.
That's what a hero does.
It's not boy
That's
either.
what a hero
it's like
does.
a 23-year-old man with
That's what a
tattoos.
hero does. That's what a hero does
It's
right
so
there.
fucking awful.
He's the hero we
The
don't
first one was
deserve.
bad though. It was just kind of like a John Wick.
Yeah, exactly.
G13.
Very John Wick-esque.
Yeah, he was just trying to do John Wick.
Which is cool,
Everyone's trying to do it now.
Dude, you know what you should watch is sorry I'm throwing out so many
I will watch
recommendations
it.
at you.
Any of them.
But the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
I've heard of that.
I didn't expect much going into it because I think it's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
And, those can be, like, not have a lot of substance to them, but the action's always cool. But this one, I will tell you, sick movie from start to finish.
Really?
It's got Henry Cavill in it. It's it's a true story. There's obviously big liberties taken, but it is fascinating. It's so awesome. And the guy who plays Jack Reacher on Amazon Prime now,
yeah.
Alan,
Love that guy.
whatever, dude.
Blue Mountain State legend.
Yes, that guy.
Yes.
He's in it, and I'm ride or die with that guy now. I'm not gonna watch Jack Reacher. I'll
Can't
be
watch it.
honest, but
We still got 20 years.
yeah, buddy. That's like Matthew loves all that shit. Matthew, anything that says like Tom Clancy presents, Matthew's like, this is the best thing
I
ever.
watched that one that Jim was in.
Yeah, Jack Ryan.
Awful. Horrible
Yeah.
show.
See, that's a show my dad and Matthew, they love.
Got through like 4 episodes, and I was like, oh, this is just the superhero America guy.
It's like, it's like Benghazi porn is basically
awful.
what it is.
just like, well, that guy's a real goddamn patriot. Like, that's
Yep.
what I gotta yell at the TV while he's throwing grenades back at Saddam Hussein or whatever the fuck is happening.
Oh, God.
All right, I'll close on that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's go, America.